it's you guys. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, finally we've got Resident Evil 4 Remake, and it's been announced for State of Play, which is absolutely amazing. I was really eager to kind of just restream this whole event, but unfortunately, due to so many circumstances, I really couldn't do that. So let's go ahead and watch this, and then first time we're gonna watch it, and then next time we're gonna go into the breakdown. Release date 24th of March. Clearly the same timeline of Resident Evil 2 Remake and 3 Remake. Interesting. The early flamencos from Resident Evil 4. That's Ashley. Someone murdered the deer. The sounds definitely look really creepy. Even the atmosphere, just like the leaks said, it's gonna be dark.
Guess you, me. They done a spot to vacation, eh?
Hey, Luke. That was Ada.
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
Pretty legit, pretty tight, isn't it? Okay.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second.
So he was just trying to get himself off.
It can be different.
He was already trying to get over with Resident Evil 2's nightmare, so now he got himself into this new mess. So yeah, it was probably the early part of the game. So ladies and gentlemen, now let's try and break things down. This very way of like the presentation, it looks really similar to Last of Us, A Plague Tale, Innocence-like games, and I really appreciate that, you know, Capcom actually, and fortunately Capcom already did that, you know, using the flamencos as the soundtrack, and it was a perfect situation and the scene to use that. Excellent job, Capcom. So apparently Mr. President and Leon, and yes, please save my daughter, she's very annoying. Capcom. So I was just looking at this particular alley, and you know, considering you know, this very path like reminds me of one of the paths in Resident Evil 8 Village. Right? So when I used to say that, like, all of those assets from Resident Evil Village will be used in this particular game, like Resident Evil 4. There you go. Very similar, but the lighting is changed. I am glad that we will get to see Leon's, you know, the typical jacket, and of course Capcom couldn't have done this blunder, not giving him a jacket at all, so they gave him the, you know, the trouser and the, you know. So of course it looks like, you know, the crows this time are gonna be really active, right? Nice.
Guess you, me. They done a spot to vacation, eh?
Hey. Hey. Okay, going back a little. Oh my god.
Guess you, me.
So the best part was after this, of course, Crow's gonna be really active. This looks like the first house, right? Where we go in and we find someone turning into zombies. So now pay attention here. I am really happy that they considered it, like, you know, better this time. Like, considering his hair to be moving with the, you know, effects of the air and the physics and everything. So watch out at Leon's backhead. He opened it, right? So this very small details goes to tell you, like, you know, that's gonna be pretty sick, right? So again, the tone of the village looks, I think it's almost the same. They did not want to, you know, experiment with it, but yeah, there are things that of course they will be adding to complement. So someone burned. Oh yes, I think this is the scene where, you know, his driver will be burnt by these guys. So Leon is just standing there and watching his own driver being burnt. So Lewis is here. So I mean, Lewis has a pretty decent reputation in the game. So I know everyone is really excited, you know. But unfortunately, we couldn't really see his face. So this looks like the first zombie that we will kill in that room. And of course, he's going to do the axe, right? So Los Illuminados, definitely the cult, all the zombies, and of course Ada. She's of course they have given her a different attire this time. Of course, I mean, because you can't literally just, you know, copy paste the whole shit, or let's say just use the same kind of cloth. So they gave her a very tactical looking costume because she's a spy and everything. So in this very scene, Leon is just you know, literally just in the boat, as if he's, you know, just, you know, suffering from that insignia and the plagas. While if you pay attention at the very right side of the screen, you will see that, you know, that boss from the water that emerges. You can clearly see that, you know, there's something in the water too. And of course the big cheese. Big cheese. I wonder that, you know, he's going to beat the crap out of Leon this time around, because I'm pretty certain they're going to give him Mr. Axe or Nemesis kind of you know, game play or the physics style, right? If you know what I mean. So Leon was literally just, you know, getting himself infected, and then we were seeing these eyes. And this zombie, you know, that will come when probably Lewis and Leon are, you know, tied up with chains, and this is going to break our chain, right? So the church is there, which is really amazing at the same time. That we will definitely, just like Resident Evil 3 Remake, you know we skipped it, we skipped the you know, clock tower, but I'm glad that these guys actually did not skip the church. Of course. And most important thing about this particular you know, so Count, try and help me here. Had Resident Evil 4 had 4 big bosses, the Big Cheese, Salazar, and then Krauser, and the final boss. So these 4 hands can represent all of those 4 bosses. You know, I have a feeling. And then we will kill one another, then we will collect one hand, right?
It begins now.
And here comes the bastard. Yeah. Nah. So that's pretty much it, really, from the reactions. Okay, there's something a little more. I don't know. Yes, there is. Forgot. Oh yeah. I'm glad they kept the same model as Resident Evil 2
This time,
remake.
it can be different. It has to.
And of course, like, part of me, of course they don't want to change the gameplay of the game, right? I wasn't really looking forward to see a Resident Evil 4 remake in a first person point of view, so I'm glad that they're showing you the third person over the shoulder point of view. But this looks like very classic survival horror. It's a fixed camera angle and Leon is moving, which looks really interesting to me. I would really love this, because this is complete survival horror experience from the past. So thank you all very much, guys. I'm glad that you guys have already enjoyed this pretty much.